Testing, testing. Yes? Okay.
Can you hear us from down here, Fritz?
Is that ready? Should I wait?
Time to get off the field there.
Okay. Test, test, test. Turn that. Yeah.
Yeah, they will. They go.
Okay, they have the game balls.
No numbers?
Yeah.
Got unnumbered people?
They're not. Let me make sure they're ready to roll. All right, let's go, guys.
What do we got?
Wish I knew what we had.
Sweet boombox. Didn't have like one like
I know.
Bluetooth and everything?
Okay, I'm just getting ready to sit down because so I'm gonna have to get Shannon to get him something. Just take the money and tell them they're good without him until we get him to you. Okay, you're ready.
No, 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 not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Are we ready? Okay. On behalf of the Delaware Interscholastic Athletic Association, we are pleased to welcome you to Sanford School and the 2021 Boys Lacrosse State
Championship Tournament. We congratulate the coaches and athletes competing today for their outstanding performance during the regular season and wish them all continued success in the state tournament. The practice of good sportsmanship is one of the primary goals of interscholastic athletics. The coaches and athletes recognize that the decisions of the officials are made in good faith and that they must abide by those rulings. We ask all spectators to recognize that they represent their schools as much as the coaches and athletes and to refrain from derogatory and negative remarks or cheers. Please support your teams in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. Today's game will be between the visiting Smyrna High School Eagles with a record of 11-5 and the Sanford School Warriors with a record of 15-0. And now for the introduction, starting with Smyrna's non-starters. Joseph Bach, Tristan Booth, Dylan Phillips Calloway, number 2, Shane Wilson, number 3, Easley Pearson, number 4, Chase McLaughlin, number 5, Eric Larson, number 7, Nicholas Miller, number 11, Cole McLaughlin, number 13, Gianni Justice, number 16, John Connell, number 18, Vincent Justice, number 19, Landon Duke, number 20, Logan Kaiser, number 33, Benjamin Guzman, number 34, Malachi Valentine Martz, number 35, Dylan Booth, number 38, Sean Sapinski, and number 40, Nathan Stamos. And now for the Smyrna starters, number 1, Kevin Sarkeesian, number 6, Patrick Crutchfield, number 8, Gavin Porter, number 9, Jacob Wagner, number 10, Nathaniel Lesniak, number 12, Zarek Kolakowski, number 17, Paul Moyer, number 31, John Williams, number 32, Jason Seitler, number 36, Nicholas Shane. Smyrna's coached by head coach Mike Zolkowski, assisted by Jay Holler, Brian Boyd, Dan Wagner, and Danny Shona. Managers Kenny Davis and Alexandria Sapinski. And now, for Sanford's non-starters, number 1, Thomas Borsello. Number 3, Asher Bennersley. Number 4, Luca Pompey. Number 5, Parker Long. Number 7, Xander Tomaseski. Number 11, Xander Bittersley. Number 12, Nathan Suddy. Number 17, Noah Kersner. Number 18, Noah Perlin. Number 19, Andrew Kidas. Number 23, Andrew Taylor. Number 24, Dominic Pompey. Number 27, Brady Kalarick. Number 33, Matthew Hicks. Number 35, Max Steiner. Number 36, Kyle Keller. And number 38, Patrick Young. And now for your Sanford starters. Number 2, Henry draws they make during today's contest. And now please remove all headwear and stand for the playing of our national anthem.
We are set for some playoff lacrosse. Hello, everyone. I'm Jeremy Carr, along here, as always, with Toby Coker. Sanford boys lacrosse here today to take on Smyrna. Sanford coming into this game undefeated in the regular season and the #1 seed, winning their first playoff game, a whopping 17-2 thrashing over Dover. But Smyrna won their first playoff game as well after a 10-5 regular season. They won their first playoff game against Sussex Academy 8-7. And now these two teams are brought together in the second round. Toby, what are you thinking?
You know, I think it should be a good game. Smyrna, they had a roll. Sanford, you know, they beat Dover pretty bad last time, and they just got to keep that focus and beat Smyrna.
Starters are taking the field. Day after prom playoff lacrosse for Sanford.
Yeah, I mean, that's less than ideal, but, you know, these boys they'll be able to dig deep and shoot some goals today.
A lot of Smyrna fans here. They have traveled well.
They have. Smyrna's, like, pretty far away, right?
I mean, it's, 40 minutes from here.
Oh, never mind. Like,
Do you not know the geography of Delaware?
No, we're in the north and the beach is in the south.
Okay. Well, at any rate, despite that shocking revelation from Toby, Tim Lucky is out to take the face-off. It's a specialty for that, and goes behind him, and Xander Bennersley comes up with it, so Sanford has first possession. And over to Colin Campbell, who goes down to get it, gets up. Over to Devin Lucky at X. Now turning around, going in. Shot. No good. Secured by Gaylor. And over to Devin Lucky and out to T.C. Christopher. And to here's Reed Farmer, and he's looking set to go in, and he does. Shot. No good. Two early shot attempts. Damn.
But the shot attempts seem to be also well guarded by
That one's not well guarded. Colin Campbell to Devin Lucky, and as they have been so often this year, Sanford is up one. So Lucky and Gavin Porter to face off again. Same time 1 minute later. And Lucky comes up with it again. Over to Devin Lucky. Pass inside. Shot! Colin Campbell! 2 quick goals in about 6 seconds. Sanford's up 2 already. Well, if Sanford was hoping for a fast start, they got one. So for the third time in a minute and 5 seconds, Lucky and Porter facing off. And Lucky gets it to Vinnersley again. Over to Camp. And to Devin Lucky at X across to Gaylor. Guarded by the long pole Cole Moyer. And out to TC Christopher and back up to Tim Lucky. It's a hot one here today, so we'll see if fatigue plays any factor as this game goes on.
No, it might play effective for the players. It will certainly play a role.
Oh, yeah. I know those commentators are having a real tough time in this heat. Their job requires just an insanely hard amount of work.
Yeah, it's a tough gig we got.
And now TC Christopher is going to go in. Shot wide. Two minutes gone in this game. Christopher has it at X. Gives it over to Devin Lucky, who promptly turns around and shoots, stopped by Williams.
That was a nice save by the goalie there.
Yeah. And there's a timeout called, early timeout called by Smyrna.
That is not how you want to start your offensive possession right there.
Your first offensive possession of the game.
With the goalie walking up, that's not really what you want to do.
Well, in lacrosse, there's a lot more flexibility with the goalie moving. You know,
I guess the goalie does move up more in lacrosse, so it's a little different, but still.
because they have more control of the ball. It's not like hockey where an empty net is a death sentence.
This is a big 3-minute stretch for Smyrna to try to get back in this game because for as dominant as Sanford has been, it's still only 2-0 in the first quarter. So it's still a game.
Oh yeah. So Smyrna will have it over to number 36, Nicholas Shane. Gets it over and some sort of violation. I didn't see what happened, but I think it was an offsides call that gave it back to Sanford.
Yeah.
So an inauspicious start for Smyrna.
Yeah, that's not really what you want if you're Smyrna.
Devin Lucky with it at X. Over to Gaylor, who gives it back up top to TC Christopher. Farmer to Campbell and back to Farmer. Across to Tim Lucky and to Christopher. Sanford setting up their play. Devin Lucky takes it around X, turns around, tries to pass it, gets put on the ground, and secured by Cole Moyer. The long pole, gets it up and over the midfield mark, and his pass is deflected by Tim Lucky. Coming up with it is Nicholas Miller, who's now going in quickly towards the goal. Shot wide. First shot attempt of the game for Smyrna.
Let's see if Smyrna can get something going offensively here. They've kind of found a little groove defensively, but have done nothing offensively here.
Kolakowski shot, saved by Cam Taylor and picked up by the long pole Xander Bogus, who dishes back to Cam Taylor, able to get a nice pass up to Tim Lucky. So Sanford back on the attack.
That's just kind of bad luck for Smyrna. That was a great shot and an even better save by Cam Taylor there.
Well, Williams answers with a save of his own. Into Tim Lucky, wide open shot, easy money right there. Tim Lucky was all alone, a 1v1 versus Williams, and you know he's not one that's going to mess that up.
Yeah, that was a little defensive lapse from Smyrna there as Lucky was wide open.
So quickly, Sanford up 3-0, 7:29 left in the first, and Matthew Hicks out. He and Tim Lucky, the two players that have almost always taken face-offs for Sanford. And typically, as Sanford has extended their lead further and further, Matthew Hicks gets more and more practice, and now up 3-0, Matthew Hicks gets his first attempt. And in that first attempt, the ball is on the ground, and Hicks secures it. And he gets it knocked out, and then Binnersley picks it back up and passes over to Campbell. He's got speed, he's going in, moving shot, good. 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, Sanford looks sharp early. But,
Well, this is not something unfamiliar. I mean, they're the number one seed, and this is a lot really similar to what happened in the Dover game.
Yeah, Sanford just kind of overmatched Dover in that game.
Came out swinging.
Yeah, I mean, in the Dover game, Sanford wanted to do a little better on their specialty plays, so like when they have a man advantage. So that'll be a big, see if Sanford can do that today. That'll be a big key.
Porter comes up with the face-off and passes over, and now another pass, and that one's put on the ground. So chance for Smyrna comes up empty as Bachtel, the long pole, has it and gets it across. Hicks not able to secure it, ball on the ground. Picked back up by Smyrna, now in the air again. Still scrambling for it. Binnersley had it for a moment, lost it again. And now Dom Pompey has it over to Devin Lucky. Lucky back over to Gaylor and to Brady Kolarik. Pompey over to Campbell. To Devin Lucky at X. Makes a move. Pass over to Campbell. Shot good! Well, there's a familiar sight. Colin Campbell getting numerous goals early.
Yeah, he's Sanford's best player, and it's not just Smyrna. I mean, no one's really been able to stop him. But the thing is, no one's really been able to slow him down either. He's been getting a lot of goals.
5-0 now. Still 6:14 to go in the first. It's Tim Lucky's back out to take the face off.
So these last 6 minutes of the first quarter are crucial for Smyrna to get back in the game. If it's 5-0 at the end of the first quarter, Smyrna's going to be fine. They can score 5 goals in a game. That doesn't seem like a lot.
No.
But if Sanford continues to keep on scoring, then it could get out of hand pretty quickly for Smyrna.
Well, Lucky gets it back to Andrew Taylor on the face-off, so Sanford again on the offensive. Gaylor over to Devin Lucky. He's going to go in, and he gets the ball knocked out. And call goes against Lucky, so no, it goes against Smyrna, so Sanford will have it. Tim Lucky and to Reed Farmer. We're going back down to Campbell. behind to Devin Lucky and over to Campbell. He has it at X. Now he's going to go in, turn around, pass over to Gaylor, winds up, shot, saved by Williams.
That was a nice save. This Smyrna goalie has had 3 or 4 great saves.
And he has to.
That was kind of an awkward pass there, but he got it there.
And now up to number 17, Cole Moyer. Is that an offsides call, I believe? Gives it right back to Sanford and right back to Tim Lucky. Going right in past Gaylor, shot doesn't connect. And Williams got closer to that, so Smyrna has possession. Shane gets it over to the goalie Williams. Up to the long pole Moyer. Way down to Lesniak, another long pole. Pompey knocks it out and goes right to Miller, who secures it. And then Pompey comes up with it again. So now over to Devin Lucky, going in. Shot is good! And Sanford is quickly up a touchdown here for you football fans.
Isn't it? It's 6-0.
Yeah, I'm not counting the extra point.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, Smyrna had finally gotten the ball. They'd gotten 2 defensive stops in a row, but they just can't get anything going on offense here.
Here's the face-off again.
Right, let's go. Figure it out. Shut them down.
X is not able to come up with it, still on the ground. Kersner fighting for it. And still on the ground here. And number 11's fighting for it. And a hold called on Binnersley, so Smyrna has it.
So I believe on that one, that's just a violation. So Smyrna doesn't have a man advantage. But still, I mean, Smyrna's got to try to take advantage of this. They have the ball. They're down by their goal. Even if they can just get one before the quarter, get some good momentum going, they'll be fine for the rest of the game.
Up top to Justice. He'll take it in and pass over. Out to Wilson and to Vincent Justice. Justice defended by Bogus and Bachtel, who they knock it out. Bachtel comes up with it. Getting through contact, gets it over and makes the pass to Xander Binnersley over to Colin Campbell. Shot, contested, that draws the flag.
I don't know what the flag is, but the Smyrna coaches do not seem happy.
So, call on Smyrna, there'll be a man down.
Do you know what the call was?
No, I missed it. I couldn't see from this angle.
Yeah, I don't know. There didn't seem to be like an egregious play from our angle, but it could have been a foul. I have no idea.
Hey, Red, don't worry about it. Put a stick on them.
Let's see if Sanford can capitalize on the opportunity. All right, official gives the whistle to resume play. Christopher up to Tim Lucky. Over to Gaylor. Back to Gaylor. Christopher deflected backwards. And that one's going to get out of bounds. Last touch by Smyrna. Sanford maintains possession. Gaylor over to Devin Lucky at X. Back up to Gaylor. And to Tim Lucky. He goes in. Shot saved by Williams. Who passes quickly back up to Pearson, who's flying down the middle. Christopher trailing close behind. Bachtel knocks the ball out. So Smyrna has it.
That was a great play by Smyrna there. It didn't look like they were a man down. I think they had 6 and Sanford had 6, so I don't know if the flag got maybe called off or something.
Miller over to McLaughlin, who quickly goes in, shot wide. So we are at the 2-minute, 13-second mark in the first quarter. Sarkeesian with it at X, guarded by Bachtel. Passes out to Nicholas Miller, and a flag is down.
2 flags are down. I don't know.
That'll be on Sanford as play continues.
Yeah, it will be.
So Smyrna with the free play here, and they capitalize with a goal. So the flag is waved off.
Okay.
Because Smyrna was able to score.
So Smyrna has found a little groove defensively here. They've held Sanford at 6 for about 4 or 5 minutes. If Smyrna can get one more before the quarter ends, they'll be in a great spot heading into the second quarter. Even if they don't, and they keep it at 5-1, they should be good.
Lucky and Porter to face off. And Tim Lucky moved, so Smyrna has it. And that is not what Coach Lucky wanted to see.
No, that's definitely not.
But that is defensive contest. Ball put on the ground. Porter loses it. Bogus comes up with it, who gets it up to Binnersley. So Sanford back on the offensive, over to Tim Lucky and to Devin Lucky. Now over to Gaylor, shot, saved.
What a save that was. That was I don't know who has the ball, but that was an amazing save by the Smyrna goalie.
Sanford has it. For passing over to Gaylor and to Devin Lucky, who can't get the clean pass but comes up with it still. Securing the ball, putting some moves on shot, saved by Williams.
Another great save there by Smyrna.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's running out of time to get it across the line. Just fired down there.
And contested by Gaylor, ball put on the ground, and Bogus will come up with it. So Sanford back on offense as we're down to under 20 seconds.
That, I mean, if they would have called a foul on that would have been bad.
It was a timeout.
Oh, okay, that's what that. I thought they were calling it a foul. It didn't look. I mean, it didn't look like it was that bad, that egregious.
Well, I assume it was a timeout. I mean, that typically happens when both teams congregate on the bench.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's what's going on now.
Boy, we have a packed crowd here. I just now noticed looking behind us. People have kept showing up.
Yeah, a lot of Smyrna people, a lot of Sanford people. Everyone's coming out.
Good.
You got Ryan Johnston in the house, former commentator.
18 seconds to go in the first. Sanford up 6-1.
So this game was, I believe, 6-0 with 6 minutes left to go in the first quarter. And this game could have kind of unraveled for Smyrna, but they're able to hang in there. They got some stops. They're able to get a goal. But going into the second quarter, they just have to figure out anything offensively. They haven't really done much. They had that one nice possession, but they've been unable to do much else than that.
Well, you notice Sanford slowed down, but they're still holding on to a 5-goal lead here. That's the thing.
Yeah, because they went so far in the games that I've seen them play, is they score a barrage of goals in a short period of time. And that's kind of like Smyrna was sort of able to withstand that. You know, you
Hold
got to
on.
be able to withstand that. Dover the other day was
Dover
was
had
not.
12 in that 8-minute span, or allowed 12, I should say. So Tim Lucky over to Campbell and to Gaylor and to Devin Lucky. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Sanford needs to go in. Lucky loses it. And it's going to Rhett as we have some interference called on Sanford. So
I guess just fire it down the field and see what happens in 3 seconds.
or just run the clock out. First quarter ends. Sanford up surprisingly low, 6-1 lead.
Yeah, I mean, they played well, but I don't think Coach Luck is going to be as pleased with the second half of the first quarter.
Right.
Sanford was unable to do anything offensively. They settled in defensively, but Smyrna also didn't do much offensively.
It's a hot one. All right, welcome back. Teams getting set to retake the field for quarter number 2.
This is the first few minutes of this quarter are big for Smyrna. Try to get off to a good start. Keep that little defensive momentum they had from the end of the first quarter.
Porter and Lucky to face off. And Lucky gets it back to Binnersley, so another win for him. Up to Campbell. Let's see if Sanford can end their scoring drought. Lucky to Christopher. Sanford has kind of slowed down to set up here.
So they seem to go slow, but it doesn't. They seem to play much better when they're going fast.
Well, they got to set up.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's a little different than like basketball.
Yeah. All that passing is just set up to play.
Yeah.
Devin Lucky goes in, turns around, shot. And did that go into the goal? It did. Oh my gosh.
Did it hit the? Looked like it hit the goalie. And somehow went in.
I think it just kind of rolled in.
Yeah, that's.
But hey, as long as it counts.
Yeah,
Right?
we'll take it.
54 seconds in, Sanford finally gets back on the board.
Yeah, but Smyrna's still in this. They just gotta, again, if this is gonna be one of those Sanford barrages, they gotta kind of withstand that.
And again, Lucky gets it back to Binnersley. Coming close behind him, but Binnersley is able to get over before Sarkeesian gets there.
So why did only Binnersley go for that ball off the faceoff? Is like no one else allowed in that area?
Because going after it aggressively would lead to, could lead, if he comes up with it, to a defensive disadvantage or offensive
Oh,
disadvantage.
okay. I see. That makes sense.
Lucky turns around, shot saved by Williams. The ball's still on the ground. Smyrna's unable to secure it. And now picking it up and losing it again is Crutchfield. Interference on Reed Farmer gives it back to Smyrna. Porter picking it up, gets by Campbell. And now Porter goes down, gets up, guarded by Lucky. Going in and passing over, and it gets away from Sarkeesian. That will be a turnover. Sanford gets it back.
Somebody up, right here.
Doctor looking for somewhere to go with it. Gets it over to Cam Taylor, who passes over to Zabranik. And back to Taylor. Sanford's got to get it up over to Bogus. He gets it over in time. And Bogus over to Campbell, to Gaylor at X. Pompey over to Andrew Taylor. And to Colin Campbell. He's been quiet for a while. Let's see what he can do. He turns around, making some moves. Shot. I think that was a shot.
I think it was. That was definitely a shot.
It went right to Devin Lucky, who was at X. He turns around. His shot doesn't go. He ends up on the ground, and two flags fly.
He pretty clearly tripped over himself there. We had a nice angle because there was no one blocking it, and he looks hurt, but looks like he tripped. Okay, he's up and walking. That's always a good sign.
Yeah, that's good. So Smyrna a man down as the play ends with Devin Lucky being helped off. I think part of that's just kind of probably cramps from the heat.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. And it looked like he tripped, but it looked like he was also off balance. So I don't know if he was like pushed, but I don't know if the push actually did anything. You know what I mean? It looked like he was falling with the one-handed shot anyway.
As we are now at the 9:08 mark in the second. Campbell to Christopher, up to Tim Lucky. And over to Gaylor. Back to Lucky. Into Campbell. Shot. Good! Colin Campbell again. 8-1 our score now.
He was just wide open right in front of the goal.
Great passing, though.
Yeah, the passing from Sanford has been precise today.
Here's Lucky to face off again. And as we've seen so many times, Lucky wins the face off and gets in some space. Or dishing over to Campbell. And to Luca Pompey. To Gaylor and then to Polaric and then to Nathan Suddy, who was checked in. Pompey at X. Gaylor moves around past Curl, and it gets by him. And
that's over and back.
Yep. So Smyrna has it, moving quickly. Sarkeesian. Defended by Keller. Passing over to Wagner and to Wilson. Up top to Justice. Guarded by Claire. He goes in. Shot contested.
Oh, it was blocked.
Oh, big contact from Caleric to keep the ball on the ground. And now Sanford will get possession, as it was last touched by Smyrna.
Yeah. That was, I believe the shot was blocked by a Sanford player, not the goalie, Cam Taylor. You don't see that happen that often.
Well, there goes Devin Lucky now over to Campbell. Back to Devin Lucky. Sanford setting up here. Still just moving it around, trying to set up a play. As we are finally getting some breeze here. Okay, getting by and then passing over to Gaylor. So Curlin up to Pompey, guarded by Gianni Justice still. And Lucky goes in and looks like that shot was just wide. And now we'll get a flag on Sanford, I believe.
No, both teams' fans seemed mad at the foul call, which puts us in a confusing position because we have no idea who the foul's on when everyone's mad.
No, that was on Smyrna because they're playing a man down now.
Oh.
So back up to Campbell. Shot good. Get any easier than just giving it to Colin Campbell and letting him work?
It's hard for for Smyrna to stop Campbell right now. And he's done this to most everybody that he's played. He's scored a bunch of these goals.
9-1 now. Lucky faces off, gets it back to Bennersley. He gets it over, and then passes to Colin Campbell. Gaylor over to Caleric. Up to Noah Curlin. And to Campbell, guarded by Cole McLaughlin. Campbell goes in, flag is down, pass over is wide, and this will probably do it for the offensive play as Caleric is pushed down. So Smyrna will, I believe, be a man down again.
Yeah, so at the end it looked like there might have been a little hit in behind, or hit from behind.
Oh, that looked clean to me.
Okay. So I was wondering, if that was a penalty, would Smyrna play 2 men down?
Yeah.
How do you stop anyone?
Well, we've seen Sanford play 2 men up before, and they scored a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine. That just seems really hard to not score in that situation.
I guess it wasn't a clean push because Smyrna is. No, they're not 2 men down. They were just subbing out.
Okay.
My mistake. Or were they?
Yeah.
No, they are 2 men down.
Oh, they're 2 men down. So that's your Smyrna. That's not what you want.
I would. Yeah.
Some great analysis over here. You do not want to be 2 men down.
Not want to be 2 men down. Wise words.
I mean, that's make me a coach. Like, that's what we want to do.
Let's see if Sanford can capitalize.
In the last game, their coach was not happy with their specialty situation success rate. I don't know if this is called the specialty situation, but I'm just going to call it that. And now I feel like they should score.
Farmer had his shot stopped by Williams. The ball's still on the ground. Out of bounds and going to Smyrna.
So is this like hockey when you just fire it down the field and try to...
You mean like that?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Even though it goes right to Xander Bogus, so Sanford right back on offense. Over to Gaylor, it gets by him, and that'll sail out of bounds and go back to Smyrna.
I feel like in lacrosse you have enough control of the ball where you don't need to just bomb it down the field. You know what I mean? Like you can.
Come on, Red. You got to hold the ball now. Let's go.
Well, there's a good way to infuriate a coach. Get a cheap turnover to get on offense and then turn it over right back.
Yeah.
And now the ball ends up on the ground after another long pass, and that one's going to get out of bounds. Last touch by Smyrna. Sanford has it back. A few turnovers here consecutively.
Yeah, it's...
As we are at the 5-minute mark in the first half, as Christopher gets away and then passes up to Binnersley. And into Pompey quickly with a chance shot, no good. Fight for it on the ground, picked up empty net, and Sanford can't capitalize on it. And a push is called, so Sanford will have it.
So when they called that foul, that actually was the Sanford's disadvantage because the ball was rolling around right in front of an empty net there. Uh-oh.
Well, what's the call here? What's the call here? A flag is down.
There seems to be a late hit there.
And, the fans can't believe it. They are furious. And this is getting ugly.
So that's not what we want. But I believe the goal was waved off. I believe it was an illegal substitution on Sanford.
Luca Pompey took a big shot.
Yeah, boy, yeah!
So I don't know. I didn't see that, but I don't think the goal counted.
Get your heads together. Let's go.
No, it didn't.
Was it just a late hit? Did you see it?
Now, there was a lot of confusion with the fans, and
Heads right, Red. Play right, Red. John, talk to him. John, talk to him.
I hope Sanford's able to capitalize again and get a goal here.
Yeah. I feel like Sanford should probably score here with up 2 men.
Get your heads right, guys. Let's go. Yeah, give me a call later. All right.
So, the ref's still convening. A lot of confusion, a lot of flags down, too.
So this is just a lot of confusion. Hopefully, when one of the refs comes over here, I'll ask him what's going on.
We didn't have the best angle, and then the fans started getting vocal, so
Yeah,
a lot of things going on here.
One of the refs started to make a call, so I think a lot of the attention focused to him, and then something happened with the push or whatever happened down by the Smyrna goal.
So Luca Pompey ended up on the ground and is being looked at by a trainer. So.
Yeah. Originally when he went down, it didn't look good. I think he should be okay because he walked off He walked off by himself, but when he went down, it wasn't great.
Well, now the next goal in this game ought to be pretty entertaining as these fans are starting to get into it with each other.
Yeah, and I mean, Smyrna's down 8 in the second quarter. I feel like that's still manageable in lacrosse in terms of how many goals are scored. All right, I'm going to go ask the ref what happened.
So 4:36. So a hit to the helmet on Smyrna, and then 3 unnecessary roughness penalties, 2 on Sanford and 1 on Smyrna.
Thank you, sir. I believe all of those penalties are served full time, I believe.
But Sanford's are 1 minute penalties. Smyrna's hit to the helmet is a 2-minute penalty.
But Sanford, okay, yeah. So Sanford is down a man for a minute, and then they'll be up a man, right?
Oh, sliding down, and now we
that's
get
a
another
foul.
flag.
They're going to call that every time. Coach Lucky is in disbelief.
As now Sanford will be down another man. They have just 3 defensive players and a goalie. But Smyrna has only 4 offensive players because they were down some players.
So this is very confusing if you know how lacrosse works.
We're
But as you
running
can
out of
imagine,
players
if
here.
you don't know what lacrosse works, I mean, it's what, 4 on
4 on 3.
4 on 3.
4 on 4 if you
Not
count.
yeah, I don't
If you
think
count Cam Taylor.
there's how many players are on the field? Not a lot. Not a normal amount. I know that.
Sanford's down 3 players. Smyrna's down 2.
Smyrna's got to score here. If they want to get back in this game, they can't let this opportunity pass.
Well, here's the shot, and there it is. 9-2. Pretty impossible to not score when you're.
Well, there was nobody on offense. Like there's no one on offense or defense. There's so few people. But now I believe Sanford has a man advantage. But I think it's still a face-off.
Well, the goal there nullifies Sanford's penalties. Well, this has been a fun ordeal.
Yeah, it has been. Still, Smyrna's only down 7. If they could get if they could score 2 goals before halftime and give up 0, they'll get right back into it before the second half.
Well, let's hope Sanford scores 2
Let's
goals.
hope Sanford. Yeah, I mean, but 2 goals in 4 minutes for either team. Like that's pretty reasonable to happen in lacrosse.
They're subbing out a goalie. Smyrna is subbing.
They're subbing out the
Subbing
goalies?
out the goalie. Yeah. As Malachi Valentine Martz has checked in for John Williams.
But they have the goalie in the penalty box.
Well, Sanford still is down some players.
But like Smyrna's goalie is sitting there in the penalty box. Did he commit a penalty? I guess he had to have,
Yeah.
right? Oh wow.
Well, here's the face-off. And Lucky comes up with it. Let's see if Sanford can score. Over to Gaylor. Campbell not in, so Sanford's biggest scoring threat currently.
In the penalty box, I believe.
Yep. Some animosity between the two sides here. Lucky overshot, saved by Valentine Marks.
What a save. They bring in the backup, and
And now he heaves it up again, and Zabranik can't come up with it, but neither can Smyrna. And
Oh, that's-
now we'll get a collision. Oh my goodness. Still on the ground.
I mean,
Bogus.
he got rocked.
Bogus over to Lucky, who takes a shot from behind and gets it over to Campbell, who's checked back into the game. Campbell moving in. Shot good!
Wow.
10-2.
So I think we're done with the penalties. I think so.
10-2. 3:10 to go in the second quarter. Excuse me. So Smyrna still one man down. Sanford is done with penalties, but they had a 2-minute penalty at the 4:36 mark, so that will go for another 30 seconds or so. Lucky gets it back to Christopher, so Sanford back on offense. And up to Campbell. Christopher to Tim Lucky and to Gaylor. Tim Lucky over to Christopher and to Campbell. His shot! Oh, it's good again! Colin Campbell, baby!
Watch out. He did this against Dover. He started getting a bunch of goals, and it got out of hand quickly.
11-2 now.
So Sanford's still a man up. I don't know why.
For 8 seconds.
Okay. But I don't know why. They just scored a goal.
And movement called on Smyrna. Sanford has it back. As now Smyrna is back at even strength. Reed Farmer's shot and another one quickly for Sanford. And they're rolling now, 13-2.
Yeah, this is getting kind of out of hand here for Smyrna.
So Hicks to take the face off, and ball is on the ground. Smyrna goes down.
Yeah, that was
Push called.
That was pretty clearly a push.
Yep. Porter up past Sales high, going back the other way. So we're sitting at 2:19 to go in the second. Over to Zabranik. He gets it over. So Campbell has it again. And to Kalarick and Andrew Taylor as we're down under 2 minutes now, 150. Gaylor passes over to Curland, I believe, and to Campbell, and then to Kalarick. So Sanford just moving around again to set up a play. And pass way across to Colin Campbell at X. 120 now. Campbell Getting some contact, getting the shot off and getting it through. Another goal for Colin Campbell.
Yeah, he's going now. It's escalating quickly here for
14-2.
Smyrna. It's getting a little out of control.
5 straight goals for Sanford after Smyrna scored when Sanford was players down.
Yeah. Well, and I think, that was,
It's certainly been an interesting quarter.
It has been an eventful second quarter here. There's 1 minute and 15 seconds left.
Fight for it. Put on the ground. Still fighting for it. And coming up with it is Binnersley. Sanford, as they have done so many times this season, staying on offense a majority of the time thanks to successful face-offs.
Yeah, that seems to be their.
That's their identity.
Yeah.
So Campbell in shot. Oh my goodness.
It's just too easy at this point. It's just too easy.
Well, that mirage of goals in short spurts that we were talking about at Sanford.
This is it right now.
Yep.
See if they can get one more before halftime, as there's 49 seconds left in the second quarter.
So, under a minute. And here's the face-off after. Lucky comes up with it again. Over to Campbell.
Oh, my
shot.
goodness.
That one deflected out.
If that would have gone in.
So we're at 40 seconds now. As Campbell going in, moving around and passing. Now Gaylor, and he just taps it right in. Keep the momentum going. 32 seconds now as Sanford is scoring about every 10 seconds the last about minute. Now, I'm not sure the scoreboard says 15, but if I was counting, then Sanford would have 16 right now because...
I don't know. I know one goal got waved off, so that could be it. I don't think it's going to matter. I don't know if I should say that, but if they have 15 or 16, I don't... If I'm being I don't think that's going to matter in the grand scheme of things at the end of the game.
I was just wondering if I was counting wrong.
Yeah. Probably, I'd assume that the scoreboard's right.
So Sanford comes up with it again as we're running down, and now it's put up in the air, and big contact here. And Smyrna upset with that call.
He's got a...
Oh, no, there was no flag here. I think it was a timeout called. So with Sanford's big lead, we have a running clock for now.
Oh, yeah. Well, Sanford is probably going to try to... I don't know if they're going to run up the score, but right now they're up 13, so I guess you got to be up 12. Or more, got to be up more than 12 to have the running clock going.
Mm-hmm. So we're sitting at 19 seconds, Sanford with a 15-2 lead.
There's 15
So-
seconds left here.
13, 12, 11, 10 seconds. Campbell's shot's knocked away by Williams, who has returned to the goal. So under 10 seconds, Lucky over to Campbell. He's not able to secure a ball on the ground. Christopher picks it up. 2 seconds, 1 second, and they will not get the shot off. And oh, now a player goes down again. And Coach Lucky is furious with the lack of the call. And now the Sanford fans giving a little chant of scoreboard, but this has gotten intense here. But we will head to halftime. Sanford up 15-2, and we'll be back in a bit for the second half.
They got to be tired now. They did a lot of running. They got to be tired.
Protecting our community, teaching our students on campus, delivering a strong college prep program, and giving our families flexibility. Those were our top priorities as we prepared to open school in September, and they continue to be critical in our changing and uncertain world. Operating Sanford successfully this year has required us to make significant investments. Today, enhanced technology, health and safety equipment, facility modifications, and additional personnel are not nice to have. They're essential to keeping our community healthy and our students learning. Every Sanford student's experience is important. And whether our students learn on campus or at home, we are committed to ensuring that no talent lies latent. You can help us remain Sanford strong for our students by making a gift to the annual fund. The annual fund supports the people and programs that make Sanford special no matter what we may be facing. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Sanford stepped up for our students and for our community. Will you step up for Sanford?
Monique was a two-time National Player of the Year, high school basketball player here at Sanford. I think one of the all-time leading scorers in girls basketball. Went on to have a prolific career at the University of Virginia, and even played professionally. Was drafted WNBA before an injury ended her career. Walter Davis, perhaps the most famous of all the athletes that you have mentioned on this list, one of the NBA 50 all-time greatest. I think the thing that's different with Walter is that he was only here at Sanford for 1 year. He was here for his senior years.
Speaking of that, here's number 6, Walter Davis. Not so bad himself. Got his man in the air and went with a shot through the foul line.
Paris Waterman, obviously I'm biased because that's my daughter, the namesake. And when I think about Paris being a multiple sport athlete, first team All-State in 3 sports in her senior year, basketball, lacrosse, and field hockey. Was the Delaware 2007 High School Athlete of the Year. Went on to play lacrosse at Brown University, made the U.S. National Lacrosse team, played varsity basketball at Brown University. So when I think about an athlete, if I'm thinking multiple sports, Paris certainly is in consideration. Trevor Cooney, one of my all-time favorites, 5-year varsity starter here at Sanford. Played basketball as an 8th grader as a starter. Won back-to-back championships in his junior, senior year. And then scholarship player at Syracuse University. Has been NCAA tournament Final Four. Also played on the USA 18 under national team, so he's played a little bit internationally. He's had an outstanding basketball career. Is the all-time leading scorer for boys basketball at Sanford. Will Sheridan, again, Will was a Delaware State Player of the Year, class of 2002, I think if I remember correctly. Played on state championship team here and then on to Villanova University where he played for 4 years. was a big part of that team at Villanova, team captain. They got to the Elite Eight. Had a great run in the NCAA tournament in his final year.
Katie Compton was a highly conditioned athlete while here at Sanford, and she was on the U.S. national biking team. I wasn't here when Jackie was a student athlete here, but she was a highly accomplished athlete here, went on to play in college, went on to do great things in lacrosse coaching worldwide, not just in the United States, but worldwide. Cindy Dwan was one of the most successful girls tennis players in state history. She won 5 first single state titles, first being an 8th grader, and then again as 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grader.
Jordan Porch, great soccer player. Jordan ran cross country for a couple of years at Sanford. Left Sanford and went to University of Virginia to play soccer, but is currently playing, transferred, and I want to say it's North Carolina Greensboro where he is.
I would say that every one of these people is very humble. Everyone is very loyal to Sanford. They all work very hard at their academics as well as in sport.
end of the first quarter. And emotional second. Fans have gotten into it with each other over some questionable calls, but Sanford has put together a string of goals and currently sit with a 13-goal lead at 15-2. So, Toby, what are you thinking for the second half?
Well, I think for the second half, Sanford's got to be able to control their emotions. If the game is chippy like it was at the end of the first half, right? Sanford doesn't want to get into a fight and get a bunch of kids, like suspended for the next game. And Smyrna, just don't get into a fight. Like that's just not a good idea. Would be my advice.
Well, I don't think you ever want to get into a fight.
That's just life advice for everyone always.
So here's Campbell with it. And kicks it back out to Christopher, up to Kalarick. And Lucky passes over and Curlin takes a shot. So Porter passes up and it gets by number 17 for Smyrna. And Bogus gets it. It got by Cole Moyer. So Bogus has it and passes it over. It gets by Curlin, and that will sail out of bounds and go back to Smyrna. So here's Moyer with it. Shoots it a long way up to
what a catch that was.
Shane. He snares it. Over to Zeitler at X. Makes a move. Passes over. Wind up shot is good. Kolakowski put it in that time. So 15-3 our score, a minute 55 seconds in.
Well, I guess it's still kind of a game if Smyrna goes crazy with goals here.
I just hope both these teams got some water, because I know I needed it, and I'm just sitting here.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
And winning the faceoff is Porter. Heavy contact, loses the ball. Now it's up in the air, and scrambling for it are both teams. Porter's on the ground, and we'll get a whistle. And a hold on Sanford. And with it is number 9, Jacob Wagner, who gives it over to Justice, and then over to Gianni Justice, who shoots, and that one hit the outside of the net. Cam Taylor secures it and passes up to Bachtel, who can't secure it, and put on the ground. Bachtel almost got it back again. Now picking it up is Bennersley. So Sanford back on the attack, I believe, for the first time this half. Over to Gaylor Pompey.
Oh. So I believe Dom Pompey has got the long pole, which usually means he plays defense, correct?
Yeah.
So why is he on offense? I guess.
Well, he's subbing out now.
Okay, that makes sense.
Gaylor, pass over. Curlin turns around. And I don't know if that was a pass or a shot, but in any form, Colin Campbell came up with it, and it was tipped right to Gaylor. So a friendly bounce for Sanford. Lucky spins around, shoots across Campbell. He winds up, his shot is off the mark. So Kalarick with it. Caleric, guarded by Vinny Justice. Now Campbell has to move back, and it looks like he just lost it on the shot. And Tim Lucky picks it up, so Sanford avoids a turnover as we approach the 7-minute mark in the third. And Curlin falls down, gets up. As he's pressured, he gets it out to Gaylor. Christopher over to Caleric and to Campbell. Curlin to X over to Gaylor. Sanford setting up play here.
Go, Vinny.
So Campbell puts on a move, and a shot is good. So if you were Coach Lucky, would you just say give it to Colin Campbell to shoot like every time?
Yeah, that'd be my game plan if I were the coach. I would say give it to Colin Campbell, and on defense, don't get down 2 men.
Don't allow shots.
Don't allow shots, and don't miss shots. Are my two
wise words. Wise words.
Are my two coaching ideas. It's like that for most sports, actually.
And don't turn it over.
Don't turn it. Yeah, can't turn it over.
Wise words.
Oh yeah.
So face off, ball ends up on the ground and picked up by Chase McLaughlin. Passes down the middle, and I think Porter fell as he was trying to control it. And a timeout is called by Smyrna with 5:18 to go in the third. Sanford up 16-3. So, my math's correct. We've had 2 goals during the first about 6.5 minutes of this.
I believe
quarter.
so. Yeah. And now the clock is running though. It's always moving. So there's
Well, not on a timeout, but
not on timeout though, but on like after goals and all, the clock
Yeah.
is still moving.
so teams are retaking the field after the Smyrna timeout. They'll have possession of it. Kyle Keller is into the game, as is Andrew Taylor. Nicholas Miller guarded by the long pole Pompey. The pass over ends up on the ground. It will be Sanford possession as it sailed over the line, the midfield line. So Devin Lucky has it. Gaylor to Campbell at X. Up to Nathan Suddy and to Caleric. Back up to Kurland and to Suddy and to Caleric. Under 4 minutes now in the third. Lucky will move up and then go back outside. Suddy lets it bounce and then secures it. Sanford kills a lot of time just moving it around.
Yeah, they are. They're really burning the clock here in the third quarter.
So Lucky goes in, shot deflected by Williams. And Curlin picks it up and passes back over to Gaylor. Devin Lucky goes towards the middle, shot deflected away. What is it, like 3-4 minutes they've had the ball here?
It feels like it. Feels like a while, yeah.
And Campbell's shot misses. Sanford maintains possession still. Gaylor shoots it up to Suddy. Now Campbell still has it as we approach the 2-minute mark. Now Campbell will go in.
Ooh.
He puts in the shot. That's saved by Williams, and we get 2 flags as Campbell ends up on the ground. And we had a little altercation out there. The fans are upset. They're furious with that one.
I don't know the rules of lacrosse.
Campbell, no,
But I think he's got to go.
Campbell ended up on the ground, and the Smyrna player stepped over.
I think that's the thing. The fact that he ended up on the ground, I think that was kind of a clean play. I don't think that's really what they're mad about.
And in a game where the fans have already been quite emotional, this
Yeah, and Coach Lucky was getting out in the middle of the field, yelling at the refs. But at that point, he's not really worried about doing that to win. He's worried about his team getting hurt.
So the refs convening. Let's see what the call is. A lot of confusion as the coaches and referees are talking a lot, and I don't think there'll be an ejection, just Smyrna with a man down. So we're under 2 minutes.
Come on, show me you're there.
Gaylor up to Tim Lucky and over to Christopher, over to Campbell. Shot
There it
good
is.
from distance. And I think that might have been a message shot from Campbell.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
So 1:30 to go in the game. Sanford now up 17-3. Here's the face-off. Lucky gets it back to Binnersley. So we are under a minute, still with a quarter to play, but we're under a minute in the third. Over to Devin Lucky at X. He moves up and passes across. Campbell's shot hits off the pole and goes out of bounds. John Williams gets there for Smyrna to give them possession. Clock running because of the
mercy rule.
Mercy rule, yeah. Sorry, I was blanking on the word.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens. Does that ever happen to you?
All the time. That's tough. Because you're trying to make a good point and you just can't.
Oh, more heavy contact. Porter secures it. 2 seconds, 1 second. Over to Lucky, and clock runs out.
The quarter has ended.
And that'll do it on the third. And the Sanford crowd very happy with that. They're up 14 goals now at the end of 3. Quarter number 4. Sanford well ahead and have pretty much secured this victory, but there's still a lot to pay attention to just because of what's happened in this game so far and the animosity between the teams and the fans we've seen today.
Yeah, I'd like to think that the teams are going to be able to figure out.
Put it aside.
Yeah, put it aside and just play. And then if there's clean hits, like if some kid gets hit, but it's clean, but it looks like a big hit, that's fine. It's the dirty hits that are bad.
But you know what's not dirty? Colin Campbell going in for another easy goal.
Yeah, that goal was way too easy.
I think it's fair to say if he had continued his pace of play that he had this year and the last season 2 years ago, if he hadn't gotten robbed of a season due to COVID, he might have broken Tommy Bloom's Sanford all-time goal-scoring record.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I think now that he's only going to play 3 seasons,
that's kind of out of the question.
It's going to be kind of hard, but
he would have really contested that record.
For sure, yeah.
No disrespect to Tommy Bloom because we know how great he was, but
oh yeah,
Colin Campbell just comes out here every game and puts up 5, 6, 7 goals.
We didn't do a face-off there. I don't know.
Going in is Kolakowski. Gets it knocked out, gets it back, pushed out of bounds, and that'll draw the flag.
No, that's. I mean, I don't know if it's a flag. It was definitely a push.
You can't push him out of bounds.
Okay, it was quite clearly a push.
We had a really good angle on. We were right here. That was clean. Or
Yeah,
not
clean.
That
was not clean.
Yeah.
It was against the rules.
Yes, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah. We don't think it was a dirty play, and he was intentionally trying to do harm or anything.
He was just trying to get the ball.
Yeah.
Chase McLaughlin over to Nicholas Miller and back to McLaughlin, and then down to Sarkeesian. And taken by Taylor. Bachtel over to Cam Taylor. And now to Zabranik, who shoots it up on the ground long, not able to secure it on the initial bounce. Still having trouble with it, but now he secures it. And timeout called by Coach Lucky. With 9:41 to go in the game, Sanford has well secured their victory here. They're up 15, and they'll advance to the next round of this state tournament.
Yeah, do you know when and where they'll play next?
I do not, because it depends on, I think the other game in their bracket matchup still has to happen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that makes scheduling date and time and location. Well, the location's going to be here because Sanford's the #1 seed on their side of the bracket, so they wouldn't have a road game until
The semifinals or finals?
Till the finals, if they were to make it that far. That would be their first road game, and that would be at Dover. That's the decided neutral site game.
Okay, that makes sense.
So Sanford has it. Tim Lucky. The clock starts running again. Now I'm curious to see how if Sanford tries to score here, or they just do what they did on their last offensive possession in the third quarter, where they just ran around for about 3 or 4 minutes.
I think if they keep the ball for the rest of the game, that's more impressive than scoring a goal.
For 9 minutes?
If they keep the ball for 9 minutes.
Well, Lucky loses it, but there's no one around, so he gets it back. Something tells me that 9 minutes of possession is not going to happen.
Is that just you having watched sports before? Is that what?
Yeah.
Is that what's telling you that?
Me having
9
watched
minutes?
lacrosse before, and also watched this game.
Yeah.
And Smyrna's 10-5, so they're not going to just be on defense for a whole quarter.
Yeah.
See, there you go, right there. The ball is hit out of bounds. No, it stayed inbound. Sanford got it back. So scratch off whatever I was just saying. Christopher passes across, and now it's on the ground. Now up in the air. And Kalarik's going to get there first and secure it. Pass over to Suddy. Berlin moving around and passing back out. So we are at 8 minutes now. And now pass over to Lucky. That one's put on the ground. And secured by Kyle Keller. He then gets it over and passes across to Christopher. Then over to Tim Lucky. He then passes to Suddy, ends up on the ground. I don't think that was a shot, so.
I don't know. Was it a shot? I have no idea whose ball it is.
I think it'll be Sanford's ball.
Yeah, well, was it a shot? Oh, he's tying his shoe. That's what they're waiting for.
He can't be running around with untied shoelaces. That's dangerous. Trust me,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, no.
Get him
That's
caught
tough.
under your other foot.
Yeah, you'll go down.
It's not fun. Tie your
No.
shoelaces, kids.
That's the moral of the story.
And now Smyrna gets it on offense. Gianni Justice over to Jacob Wagner and to Sarkeesian now, guarded by Bachtel. He goes to X and passes over to Easley Pearson. And then the pass gets by, and that'll sail way out of bounds and grabbed off one hand by Brogan Yates.
With a barehanded play in the stands. That's just what you like to see out of your student section.
That was impressive.
That was quite impressive.
And Lucky weaves through contact.
He just ran right through them.
Oh, he's bigger, so.
Yeah, he's bigger.
excuse me, not Devin Lucky, Tim Lucky has size. That's one of his big advantages, especially on face-offs. 6:30 now left in the game. Andrew Kedash in over to Parker Long. He is not able to secure it, and Lesniak picks it up and shoots it way down, and that's over the head of Kevin Sarkeesian. It'll sail out of bounds and go back to Sanford. Bachtel gets it up to Cam Taylor, shoots it up to Keller. Kyle gets it knocked out and still on the ground. He knocks it out of bounds. Toby, why did you not secure that? That was coming right to you.
I should have made the play, but I don't know. Laziness.
Well, you're tired. I understand.
Tired. I didn't want to like reach and have some guy running out of bounds trying to get it, you know, ram into me.
So, Chase McLaughlin going in with it. Shot saved by Cam Taylor. Cam Taylor shooting it up over, passes his brother Andrew Taylor. Cam Taylor's had a quiet day. Of course, he hasn't had to do much.
Yeah, he hasn't. But I mean, the defense is playing well behind him.
Now, Wagner's shot deflected.
Did he save that with his
I think he did.
helmet?
I think he did. Scramble for it on the ground. Bachtel keeps it in bounds.
That's my play of the game from Henry Bachtel. Up 15, still hustling.
Here's the long shot wide. 4:18 now left in the game. Sarkeesian up to number 2, Shane Wilson. Tested by Kedash, shot saved by Cam Taylor. Who then passes up to Noah Kersner, not able to secure it initially, then picks it up. On the run, packs up to Parker Long. Long shot high. And that might have gone towards someone's car.
Well, hopefully it didn't damage the car there.
So over to Matthew Hicks as the reserves are in to presumably finish the game for Sanford. With it is number 7, Xander Tomaseski. And now over to Asher Binnersley. And Suddy shoots it over to Kedash, I believe. Noah Curlin, pardon me.
Guys got to tighten up on him. Tighten up.
And Matthew Hicks, the man they call Sasquatch, gets through and his shot is saved.
Hey, they're just playing keep away. Let's go, Red.
Now up to Tomaseski, hits off his stick. He has trouble getting it, but then secures it. Over to Long, makes a move, goes in. Parker Long shot, saved by, and now we'll get a flag down.
I believe they called the slash, so I think that's on Smyrna.
Yeah. Suddy up to Asher Binnersley as we're under 2 minutes to go now. And to Parker Long. And back to Noah Curlin at X. Sanford swinging it around again. And they'll likely just kill the last minute and a half.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
And Parker Long has to jump to secure it.
Gotta challenge them, guys. Challenge them.
So we're now at the 1 minute mark in the game. Asher Binnersley gets it knocked out and still fighting for it. Thomas Seski in there among others. Parker Long picks it up and then he takes some heavy contact, secures it. That'll draw 2 flags. And oh, Binnersley gets hit. And now we'll get whistled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We like that.
And a few flags down as we're under 30 seconds. And the running clock ought to wind this down just to the end. Did the coaches call timeout or?
I don't think so. I think
The team is huddling up. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. And Sanford punches their ticket to the next round, thrashing Smyrna 18-3. The magical run continues.
I believe, yeah. That's kind of a. I mean, tough for Smyrna. They just couldn't stop Sanford at all, or do anything on offense, and that's a tough recipe when you don't play well on offense or defense.
So a dominating win for Sanford. Their first 2 playoff wins have netted a combined score of 35-5. And that'll be all for our stream today for our whole crew. Aaron White, Jonathan Fritz, Michael Ickes, John Fritz, Maggie Ross, and of course Toby Coker. I'm Jeremy Carr. Thank you all for tuning in.